Just trying to kill this pumpkin thing, and it's just like, no, fucking pumpkins, everyone will explode everywhere. It's just like, fuck! Also, like, I should be playing Conquerors Blade, but I wanted to kill this thing before but just, it refuses to die right now, so I'm very frustrated, because I am constantly getting CC'd by this thing. Nothing more frustrating than getting CC'd out the ass. And, I mean, like, that goes into Conquerors Blade as well. The amount of... Okay, like, CC, yeah, sure. But the fact that they reduced the CC is actually pretty impressive. If you haven't noticed that, they've actually taken out some of the CC from some of the units, which is kind of cool. Ugh, no. Fuck. Oh, wait, no. Yes! I don't have to come back to this island ever again. Alright, with that done, I can finally just quit out of this thing. But, yeah, it's just one of those things. You're balancing the game on how fun you want it to be. There are times where you're just like, I'm just gonna make this, I'm gonna introduce all of these new things and just don't understand how that's gonna affect everything. Apparently, server is gonna go down tomorrow. People are gonna show off the People are gonna show off the new thing. Will I? Nah, I won't be. Tomorrow we have access to showing off the weapon. I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of people. Not sure if I want to show it off as well. I probably won't. No, I definitely won't. I won't sign up for it. It's only 1 day early. Well, technically it'll be 2 days early. Because we'll have it on the Hall of Tuesday tomorrow. Then I'll shut down on Wednesday. Or is it 2 days? Might be 2 days, actually. We have access to... let me just have a look. Okay. So for the time the game goes down... So we'll have access to it for the maintenance, yeah, for the 1 hour. Not 1 hour. For the 1 day on the 6th. Starting at midnight all the way until midnight. Well, 24 hours. Nah, I'm not going to be bothering with that. But what I will be bothering with is the CBL stream. Definitely want to do that. I'm happy that they're bringing it back. I love the fact that there is a prize pool. I hope people get excited for it. One thing I will have to say is CBL is going to be very interesting because it's going to be a complete, like, if Doctrines affected the balance before, it's going to affect the balance even more. Because what we're going to see is a lot of units not have Doctrines anymore. And what you're going to notice is whether or not the players stick to metas created because of Doctrines, or metas made within the landscape of Doctrines, against people who understand the natural strength and weaknesses of units. Particularly, I don't want to see just like hundreds of a 15-man stack of Shield Maidens. Because lately, I've been seeing some absurd setups for some Shield Maidens, and they are, they are impossible, man. They are impossible to kill. The amount of block break a unit requires right now to kill a Shield Maiden is insane. Do I want to go outside and farm? No, I don't.
Wipe them out!
I've come across some Shield Maidens where my Varangian Guards, which would almost instantly block break a Shield Maiden, actually fail to block break Shield Maidens. Whether or not that's because they had the immunity, whether or not they had enough tankiness, my goodness though. When your Varangian Guards fail to block break through something, you know, like, out of every single unit in this game, discounting instant block breaks, which are caused by an effect, instant block break, unblockables. Varangian Guards have the highest block break in the game. That and maybe a Lance Cavalry Charge. I've not really figured out what the hell they're doing with Lance Cavalry Charges, but My goodness, if you're stupid as Varangian guards cannot block break a shield unit with all three of its skills, do mind, like, you're busting out three skills, all with pretty high block break, and and you don't get through the block. It's just like, what the hell is wrong? Be that as it may, things that you might be interested in about Varangian guards, they've actually changed a couple things, which I wanted to check out. One of the interesting things is that they're no longer CC immune during the auto attack. So you know how Varangian guards would be like, basically, they would do a free great sweep. That great sweep also gave them CC immunity and heal. So I'm just wondering whether or not they stripped out both the heal and the CC immunity, because I think the CC immunity is gone. At the very least, the CC immunity is gone. I know for a fact the CC immunity is gone. I have personal experience of that. I'm not sure if it's whether or not by damage or whether or not they just block. But as you can probably tell, how the unit aims is never really that good. They have some pretty nice attacks there. And, I mean, the Great Sweep itself is a double attack. It does a little bit more damage than their basics. Does look like they still have the stacking capability. There's something weird happening. No, they react like normal when I'm doing it like this. So, what I wanted to check out is, so something strange is happening with the CC immunity. How it's functioning. When my I've noticed that when I activate axe skills in order to get out of CC, so like when my Varangian guards are CC'd, and then I use an axe skill to get them up, they won't immediately attack. They won't attack by stacking up on each other. They'll just stand up, and then they'll try to attack. Sort of like their collision was turned back on, by getting up. So, maybe it's a recovery override, which is actually quite interesting.
Trading is what makes this world go round.
So, I don't mind the Varangian guards getting nerfed. They kind of needed a nerf.
We can spar if you feel like it.
I would have went about it a little bit differently. CC immunity can come and go. Not really the mainstay. Well, actually, no. CC immunity is pretty much the mainstay of like any unit that has it. Without CC immunity, you'd be pretty shit. Honestly. Alright, what I wanted to do was throw in some unit kits because
Melodies just don't
I honestly do not need this many unit kits.
Your eyes. They've seen hundreds of battles. I wonder where you come from.
Contribute. Wow! Okay, I needed to throw in way more unit kits than that. Unit kits, I do not remember unit kits being this garbo for thing. Since I don't actually lose that many, so let's just only have 10. Lots of halberdier stuff, so I'll keep a lot of kits around for that one. Prefecture pike, probably keep it around. Incendiary archers, I have been using them more, so I probably won't be using them since we've just headed into tier 4 now. Fortune, yikes, man! I have so many of these ones that I don't use at all. I didn't even use the Solemn Sheds during the tier 3 thing, which is very surprising. Namcans, yeah, I don't use those things at all. I have a deep prejudice against Namcans, mainly like my own reasons. Huh. Did this like work out like perfectly?
Trading is what makes this world go round.
Oh. No, it's going over, but for some reason it's just letting me throw all of that in. Oh, am I hitting a max? I'm probably hitting some kind of max.
You have done a remarkable deed.
Oh, what the hell?
I miss my home.
Control? Am I pressing the wrong thing? It's not doing the thing that it's supposed to be doing. 2. Then I got 10. Oh, crap. 12. And then 20. There we go.
Warlord, you have done a remarkable deed.
So I just find it funny. Really funny. I don't like how
We can spar if you feel like it.
a lot of the changes going under the radar because they're not telling us.
I wonder where you come from.
Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that these changes are coming. I love the fact that they are changing shit. They are nerfing shit. For the longest time, I wanted shit to be nerfed. But, let's also be honest. Them not telling us is a big problem. Massive problem. Yeah, balance update. Whoo-wee! I was so surprised when I was setting up my condos and it was just like, huh, these guys are super ass. Like, super weak. I wonder why. Their shock attack no longer knocks back anything. I was super surprised. It was just, wow, why? Fenris, I didn't realize at the time. These guys really do just kind of like insane. Like these guys are nuts in tier 3, and they're one of the few units that probably hit above. That can definitely hit above weight. Like you can definitely bring them into tier 4 and expect them to do well. They're not something that just like it's only OP in their tier. Like, unlike Berserkers, who work by just killing everything weaker than it, Fenris are strong in a certain way that allows them to be specialized against certain types of units. And this mainly goes into units that rely on armor, like armor, and doesn't, well, just mainly just relies on armor for defense. So unshielded units are definitely gonna have to watch out for Fenris. But then again, in tier 4, you're gonna just probably see a lot of. I'm expecting a combination of just like lots of loyal guards, probably more range, considering that the range of tier 4 was actually stepped up. So I would be very afraid. Although people who can use the claymores well will probably do well. Probably do well. Definitely do well. Claymores are just one of the units where it's just like, I have 40% damage reduction. I'm just going to do all the damage now. They've kind of secretly buffed the claymores. One of the things that they have changed is how claymores don't get dazed anymore. So they used to be able to get daze locked during their skills. Not anymore, so no longer get dazed. So that's a good thing. I think most, if not all, units that don't have a shield to block should be undazed, like during their attacks and stuff. They should be cannot be dazed. Majority of units in the tier 4 does have daze on attack. That's just the kind of thing that you end up with.
Can't deny our strength.
So obviously, when you're coming into tier 4, you want to look for the units that are really good against, really good at block break. Surprisingly, paladins have a really high block break for what they do, but it's not high enough anymore. I think I might bring out the tertials. That'll be fun. But yeah. What can I say about the new unit? Whether or not they can hit above? Definitely cannot hit above weight, but I will try it out. See if I can get some good games with these guys. These guys will probably pop and explode very fast. But I'm gonna try it out. First things first, as always, gotta do my deploy and defend. Gotta get them free. Gotta get them free things. I wish they only made us do it once. Having to do it twice is a little bit tedious.
Que la souffrance s'estompe.
Questa è casa mia. Nessuno può invaderla.
I've seen most of the success with the alchemists. Get them shield units buffed up.
These soldiers need your help.
And then incendiary archers, really good. And that's a new line. I don't think I remember hearing these soldiers need your help. And incendiaries, that's good. But yeah, I wish they only made us do this once. So while that's going on, I'm gonna grab some more food. Well, I'm gonna reheat my food since I actually don't like this being cold. Have to be a little bit careful here because the halberdiers will just break down the line. Woo! I'm about to explode.
Notre mission est de secourir.
Which is not good. Imperial. Shenji. Smashing somewhat.
Prepare your bandages.
Shenji Grenadiers again.
The blood flows freely. The blood flows freely.
Oh, I put them in the wrong spot. Nah, never mind. Should I put them here? Yeah, put them here.
The blood flows freely.
I have Siphon now. Yeah, why not? Let's just be ballsy. Put them here.
The blood
Oh, too ballsy! Ah!
a mighty
I already lost them. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's sad. I lost 2 of them. Oh well. Oopsie daisy.
Tiens bon, avec soin.
And now, aid the wounded.
So they definitely nerfed Siphon. You have 2 less, and they only use auto attack now. So I guess that's fine. They were really powerful in the first place anyway. You could like have 2 Siphonatis behind each, one after the other, and they would do very well.
First blood.
Because they would use their abilities, so difference of using ability, not using ability, pretty much huge when it comes to most units. Damage is somewhat reduced in this case, but not entirely the point of the Siphonari sometimes. I mean, they only do 300 damage when they actually hit something. Most of the time you actually want these Siphonaris because of the CC. The CC is very powerful. And they hit quite a few units, so not entirely sure how many. They have stated that probably is an unlimited hit limit, but there are some cases where it's just like, why aren't they burning everyone? So it's probably closer to 5. Something really high that's just impractical for most units, but nothing too nothing so absurd that they can hit everything. So yeah, it's not high enough to count with your eyes. Well, sorry. It's high enough where you can't count it with your eyes. Like, just from seeing it. You have to, like, pause, count, everything. Those kinds of things. You have to determine a lot of things by, like, actually watching it and pausing it. You have to watch it over again as well. Again and again and again.
Notre mission est de secourir.
Milano non ha solo fabbri.
Aid the wounded.
Voilà ici. Tiens bon, je vais te soigner.
Vassal. And another incendiary. That's good.
Right now. Prepare your bandages.
Everyone wants transparency, but at the same time, I want the developers to make a good game. As long as they make a good game, transparency can be damned. A good game speaks louder than any words they can say. So make your game fun. Make sure that you aren't introducing shit that is completely busted, OP, or just garbage on fun. You want to create a fun game. That is your job, basically. Like, what are you meant to do? You're not meant to just please every single whim of the players. Like, seriously. If a person ever went, I'm going to just do all of these crazy things. I'm gonna add them in, make it a game, and just listen to everything that... Players are stupid, man. Players are stupid. Like, we are dumb. We are really dumb sometimes. We want things which will actively hurt us. Hurt fun.
Arm up.
You gotta keep that in mind. You gotta make sure that you understand that when we ask for something, you got to imagine that we are actively trying to shoot ourselves in the foot.
As you command.
Oh my goodness. Oh, good.
The blood flows free.
Not sure if that's good. It's not far enough where it's just like, you can. Fine. Double siphons. Holy shit, they're just gonna give me siphons after siphon. Shenji's, finally, holy shit, something good. Might actually need to have them on the other side. Make sure I press that correctly, because, I mean, I do believe that I have made mistakes.
A mighty blow to our foes.
Yo! Nah, I'm not streaming tomorrow. I won't be streaming it tomorrow. I was thinking of whether or not to do it. We have 24 hours before the access, and I mean, like, what you would normally see, like, everyone's going to do it. Everyone's going to show off all of the skills for the classes. I can do that on the day. I've already pre-ordered for the class. I'll have all the skills on release. What I want I mean, like, it would be basically like a less than an hour's stream. I would just be constantly using the same skills over and over again, figuring out what they did. I'm pretty sure every streamer is going to do the exact same thing. The only thing is that other streamers might have friends. I don't have friends, unfortunately. I'm a pretty much a loner here. So, as like the only English speaker on the Frontier side. I mean, there is another one, but I think he's like he does English as a side. I think it's like mainly something else. But yeah, I won't be doing the class preview. I think the new class is going to be fairly interesting for about 2 days. People are going to figure out whether or not it's OP, whether or not it's weak. Pretty sure people are going to state that it's going to be pretty weak. One of the big things that are always a problem with light armor classes is they're squishy. They're real squishy. So you got to be super fast, have lots of like if Pike was squishy, being a medium armor, like on release, Pike was so ass because no one understood how to. Well, no, on release, Pike didn't have the the immunity frames for their recoveries, so you would actually get hit during using those. So that was one thing. So in the end, I think it's just best for me to stream a little bit, either on the Thursday, maybe, or just wait until the Monday. I mean, there's no rush for me to stream it, as I understand that everyone wants to look at this new class and thing. But the best way to see this new class is on the battlefield. So the earliest anyone's going to see it on the battlefield will be on Thursday. So I might be streaming on the Thursday. I'm still wondering whether or not I will be. I probably will. The new class will get me into games on the Thursday. Will definitely let me stretch out some, well, figure out some new things about it. I'll probably keep myself in the dark, not watch the class preview of other streamers, so that's one thing. What I also do want to say is, I think people are going to be disappointed in the visual of the class. I was. Sorry. I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed. I wanted the chain to be way more presentable. Like, it's on the hand. What the hell's this? I wanted to see the chain hanging down. I want to see the chain constantly moving. Or have it in you're holding it like a Wild West cowboy. Have it like in a loop, but having it wrapped around the hand, although probably more practical. Well, actually, I have no idea about practicality here, but I just think that they should have made, even if it's a little bit more fantasy this way, made the chain a little bit larger. You could make it so that you can see it very prominently when it's hanging away from the body. I mean, probably there's technical limitations, but it would have been so cool if the chain was animated to have different positions as you're running with it, as you're, also, like, just in general, like, there could be so many good attacks with the, chain dart that I think I have, like, the abilities don't seem like they're there. Like, an actual whip attack, an actual throw attack. What is, like, they've definitely shafted themselves in the creativity department for this scimitar and chain dart. And I want to complain because I want to complain, but, like, they could, like, Pike was so interesting when it was released. It's one of a kind. Absolutely different. Like, there are so many cool things that they did with the Pike. now we're in a territory of they're coming out with a class that just seems so underwhelming in terms of visual, in terms of skills. The complexity of the chain dart and scimitar we'll probably figure out, but the limit, everything about it just seems underwhelming to me because I want that dynamic between the two weapons. I want them to have the chain dart be prominent. I want the scimitar to be prominent. What are the skills that going to be scimitar focused? What are the skills that's going to be chain dart focused? We have a basic attack which basically throws daggers, and it's just like, why? You have a literal chain dart, which is a range and close quarters, like a chain dart. The exact same thing. Just instead of throwing daggers, you throw your chain dart, pull it back. Easy. That's like if you want to make it an AoE attack, just do a swing. The smoke bomb probably used it's not that they pulled it from the unit. Like come on, like are we being realistic here? Does dual blade not exist? We literally have alchemic vapors, which does the exact same thing. It states throw a smoke bomb at the ground, leap backwards, turn invisible. Like, you don't actually see the smoke bomb, but it's just like the idea is there. The alchemic vapors, like there is a mist kind of thing. They just made it more realistic, where they're throwing down the smoke bomb. The smoke bomb literally obscures your vision because they actually have really good smoke bombs now with the alchemist. Although, I mean, the smoke, how it appears, is just, it doesn't come out like a big old, like, gray thing. It just kind of comes, it's very weird because how the visual comes in is just really stupid. Realistically, you would see a rising plume of smoke straight up, and it would be dispersing in the atmosphere, so you would normally see some kind of, like, pillar and mushroom effect. But with the alchemist, it's kind of like it's closing in, like there's lots of smoke just closing in around you, which is an effect that's caused by when which is an effect which is caused by the smoke dropping back down, but that's in like an enclosed environment. In most cases, it would actually keep dispersing outwards. So, yeah. Anyway, that's besides the point. I mean, there's so much overlap with the dual blade, which is disappointed for me. I mean, I knew that this was going to happen. I said that it would be disappointing that if they overlapped the chain blade and with the dual blade, and they did. In honesty, I think, yeah, I think they've done a disservice to the dual blade. I think the scimitar and chain dart is going to either be so weak, no one's going to use it over the dual blade, or it's going to be so strong that dual blade is no longer on the table. Like, this is the problem here, because they are two of the same archetype. Chain dart, scimitar, and dual blade. The main question is which one's going to be stronger? Honestly, Mark for Death, very powerful. One of the most, like, OP skills in this game. Chain dart does have a hurdle to get through. That Mark for Death is very powerful, but chain dart does have a little bit more getting in. One of the more interesting things is them pulling themselves towards the enemy. The other question is how they're going to get out. That is the other one. But, I mean, it's just so it's just really hard to see two classes compete over the same archetype. But this is where they're wrong about how Pike and Spear both work. Because Pike, like, don't get me wrong, they were right that Pike can do what Spear does, but it doesn't do Spear the same way it does. Pike is actually weaker than Spear at doing what Spear does. Because even if they're similar... Okay, no. They're similar weapons. That is one of the most important things. But the archetype they fill are different. The Spear engagement versus a Pike engagement. Very, very, very different. But you can definitely see overlap. How the Pike trumps over Spear in some circumstances doesn't mean that the Spear doesn't trump the Pike in some circumstances. So it's not that they're the same archetype, because you can definitely do Spear stuff with a Pike, but you can't do Pike stuff with a Spear, and the Pike doesn't do the Spear stuff nearly as good. Doesn't do nearly as good as what the Spear does. So it probably could be the same case as the new class. It could do some things differently, could do things better than the Dual Blade in some aspects, but doesn't do what the Dual Blade does better. So okay, so this is going to be really weird. So it's just going to be like, if the Chain Dart and Scimitar doesn't kill people as good as the Dual Blade will still have that place, I guess. And and how I see it now is that the Chain Dart and Scimitar will have to expand by doing other things, which no, that's really stupid. That means, like, what the Chain Dart and Scimitar would have to do is be better at dealing with units. So it would need CC. It would need, like, some sort of disruption. Also, it would need to be very, like, most of its skills would need to be centered around being able to actually damage units in a large area. So, I mean, that could work because you have a Chain Dart. Got some good range on that. I could see, like, Pike could have been the better Spear. Like, don't get me wrong. I can definitely see where people are coming from. But when we actually got our hands on the class itself, I think the uniqueness definitely stood out between the classes. But what the Spear does best is still top class. It is still the best. There is no comparison, because the Spear just trumps the Pike at the touch of death. You poke it, yeah. The hero killing Pike, the hero killing Spear is just really strong. The charge, the jump down, very powerful. Like, I keep realizing this, but the dismount attack is so powerful on all of the classes. A lot of the classes, like, more powerful than I expect. But even the right-click attack versus the normal stab attack, because the Pike has the same stab attack, maybe slightly longer, but in terms of damage, I mean, the Pike would do, what, like 15, maybe 1900 damage? The Spear does like 3k with this right attack. And a headshot, back of the head headshot does... I've seen one of those attack hit me for like 6, maybe 7k. And that's insane to me. That much damage is being pushed out from, like, a right attack of the Spear. So I can definitely see that there are problems, big old obvious problems when you're introducing new classes, especially when they have thematic themes similarly, because when you get into that territory where it's just like classes overlap massively, in retrospect, I realize now that the glaive and the maul actually overlap. Massive overlap. But what ended up happening was that the glaive started to be pigeonholed in even more into what it specialized, and the maul just kind of filled in everything else. So we end up with this kind of weird scenario where the newer classes seem to just be universally more versatile, more stronger in a lot of more areas, but they end up lacking a little bit in a specialized, or how to say, particular playstyle that a class is able to do. So most of it's just do with hero killing. I think that's what you end up doing. You just make the newer classes universally better at just fighting in general, but they don't have that kind of pressure or potential to just bust out a hero kill in like 2 seconds. Although, I mean, Glaive has kind of been relegated as not a hero killer anymore. I mean, I've still been hit by pretty hefty Flying Reapers. Their popularity has been going down since they tried to expand the Glaive arsenal, but I really don't know. I really don't know whether or not the class is just better than the others. They definitely try to make some unique aspect to each of the classes, which does help for longevity because people understand the pros and the cons between each of the classes as long as they're distinctly unique. Maybe I am on the hate train for thinking that the chain blade, the chain dart and scimitar is going to overlap with the dual blade, but I think this is because in my mind there's so much overlap. When the spear itself with the pike actually had a lot of overlap, but in the end, I did believe that the pike was more anti-unit, less than anti-hero. I've come to have changed my opinion on pike, being they're too good against heroes, and too good against they're too good against both heroes and units. Even though I know spear will still wreck me in 3 ticks of a second. So never used pike. Is it better at unit killing than spear? Oh yeah, pike kills units way easier than spear does. If you want to get a good amount of unit kills and hero kills, play pike. Because although it's not as strong as spear in terms of the hero killer department, it's definitely a league above spear in terms of dealing with units. Hitting the dragon rend. Holy cow! No, storm rend. Stormrend, the charge up spear attack. Holy cow, that shit hit hard. That thing, for what it turns out, have higher or infinite penetration. There is a multiplier on that shit. No matter how much armor you have, you will still take at minimum damage, basically. You cannot... There's something wrong with that skill. You will be hit by that skill, and you could have all the armor in the world. I've seen short swords get hit by that thing, and they still take 5, maybe 6,000 damage. That is insane to me. That is absolutely insane. The worst thing is that it has a minimum of 40% damage against multi-hit. So when you're hitting a whole pile, it's just like, I'ma do 40% of my damage anyway because there's no way to reduce it. Even if they have tons of armor, I've seen Iron Reapers, my Iron Reapers, 3 pikes, each one of them hitting them with the ultimate, and my Iron Reapers are dead. Get that through your mind. I could be hit by any other ultimate, by any other hero, and a combination of 3 of them cannot deal as much damage to my Iron Reapers than 3 pikes. That's what I feel. That's what I think. That's what I feel. There are detriments for using a pike. You have to be very... You can't use it when you have ping. When you have a lot of ping, you're going to die. There are tools and there are options for pike, but they're very difficult to use because there is some level of skill required for pike. So this is where difference between easy to use and high skill ceiling. So pike has a high skill ceiling where proper usage and order of your skills ends up getting you better results, but then the floor ends up being higher because the kit's so overloaded. So you can end up just spamming skills and be semi-successful with pike, but when you push it to the limit of pike, you start seeing a gap in skill, which is crazy. But you shift it over to any other class, you got your skill ceiling somewhere around here, and pike's floor is like here, but pike's ceiling is like over here. So you end up with a mismatch of how high a class can go and where the usability is, because pike's usability is higher because it's overloaded, but the kit itself is so overloaded that once you know how to abuse it, you're above and beyond the rest in a lot of aspects. Don't get me wrong. There are certain play styles and things you can do with other classes that are just better than pike, but universally it just ends up with pike just being stronger than the rest. And that's the same thing about Maul. Similar scenario where if you don't know how, and I mean like the floor for Maul is even smaller. Like if there was a gap of 100, like let's just say 100 points between the floor and the ceiling of pike, the floor and the ceiling of Maul is like 10. It's like 10. The floor of the Maul, of how good you are at Maul, to how high you can get Maul, it's like 10. It's like 10 steps up. That's nothing. That's nothing in comparison to the technicality that you have to get through some of the limitations of pike. But the limitations don't really hold it back that much. I've been sitting on this menu for a while. What I'm supposed to be doing here is getting this on the road. I'm here to do my fusion since I've gained enough. Oh, excellent. All right. Tier 4, Tier 5. Let's see what we get. Oh, Tier 5. Tell me what did I get? Not bad, not bad. Archer unit. Whew. Gotta make my archer units OP, man. Alright, so I can do this one. I don't have Pure Spirit, so that's fine. Ah, disappointment. $30. Does end up with 40.
Melodies
I wanted to scuff this, but I guess I can't. Hey! Well, I mean, that was guaranteed anyway. Man, they are telling me I need to use some archers. They want me to use archers. That's hilarious. Alrighty, those are my fusions. Those are my fusions for today. I got a double archer one. That's pretty. Feel sorry for all the newer players, if any, who have to go up against all the same tier units with purple doctrines. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll be honest, I would be terrified as well if I have to go against an archer unit that has piercing volley and arrow rain on it, cause that shit is insanity. And I like how the visual on this is bugged out again. That's hilarious.
As you command.
I'm just wondering whether or not which one's better. Also, they changed this to leather. That's very weird. Used to be blackish leather.
Yes, Commander.
I didn't realize that they're actually changing some things.
As you
Because they didn't have this problem before. I think they made the chainmail. I think they've changed the chainmail texture. Not for this guy. This guy's still bugged out the ass. The sad thing is that you can't put the Arrow Rain Doctrine on this guy. I would love to put the Arrow Rain Doctrine on this guy, but unfortunately you can't. Where's my Arrow Rain? So I've been contemplating whether or not to actually use try to get the Imperial Archers. Should I? Should I not? And which one, by the way? I think I'll deck these guys out. Deck these guys out. Give them the terrifying piercing volley and arrow rain of 150, because these guys do really well with arrow rain and stuff. With that being said, I mean, like, I haven't redone a lot of my units because I've stripped out all of my doctrines and stuff, so there's that. So I was thinking of using the mammalians and the cheetahs. I don't think I'm gonna have enough, realistically.
I miss my home.
There is that aspect as well. I do have to say, very unfair for newer players to have to face up against something like me, because honestly, I don't believe that newer players have any chance at fighting off against people that have lots of doctrines. And not to mention, like, I've seen some crazy decked out units. Unfortunately, like, my Varangian guards are performing lower than expected, but look how much I decked out my Varangian guards because I got lucky with the draw. I mean, like, it doesn't look that crazy because two of them are just basic ones, but I added defensive ward 440 plus 40 defense for all, Ironside, which increases health. Ironside does its Ironside stuff. Obviously, you got the Leadership Doctrine. Can't go anywhere without that one. Reduces melee damage taken by 5%. That's a really nice one. And then I've got increases all defense by 80, reduces damage taken by 5. So these guys are super tanky. I don't want my Varangian gods to die. So these guys end up with 710, or like around about 700 defenses for everything. And I get a nice old 16,000 health on these guys. So not exactly an easy unit to kill. Though I have been noticing that my performance with these guys, not spectacular. Although, yeah, I mean, like, this might portray spectacular. It's just, also, I don't trust this one. This is obviously from an expedition, but this is a little bit skewed because of the expeditions. But, I do think that they've definitely weakened the Varangian guards at a reasonable level. I have no gripes with them. Nerfing the Varangian guards. I was kind of hoping that they did.
I miss my home.
Oh wait, I haven't even done my bandits yet. Whoopsie daisy. Man, I've been doing all of this so long. Haven't even done bandits.
Questa è casa mia. Nessuno può invaderla.
With spears at the ready, we ride. Für den König. Knives of the desert. Sheer tireless, guided by sands.
Oh, I just realized. What if I decked out my berserkers being unkillable?
Have faith in our mate.
Your unit is retreating.
That would be a sight to see. A bunch of berserkers with just tons of more defenses. Oh, what's this? They killed one of my guys.
Veterans never die.
Can survive a small amount. Heals over time. It's already nice. Keep them in battle for longer this way, but you do end up attritioning out eventually. But these guys are so absurdly strong that, like, why? Oh shite, this is not good. Going to have to charge my way through, I guess. I lost a couple. Definitely not the nicest thing in the world.
The blood flows freely.
Oh, I lost 2 more. That's not good.
We captured a point.
Take them for a merry-go-round. Stay away from the Shieldtron. Oh, Jesus. Nah, walked into it. Oh well. You would be surprised how effective the Shieldtron is actually against the cavalry. Mainly because they have the brace effect. So. Not that they do enough damage to actually kill any. I used to use Spear Sergeants to face off against cavalry all the time. Even though I would get charged, I would be able to stop the charge with my Clash of Shields. Used to survive a lot.
Spears at the ready, we ride.
That was more bait than anything. Simply just Xing through a Spear Sergeant, you would trade really badly. Like, really badly. Definitely end up with more dead units than you'd hope for. There were times where I killed like whole monastics because they just tried to X them through my unit.
Veterans never.
Tahtun hizmetkarıyız. The Shahir are the strongest. Knives of the desert. Right behind you. March. Stand together.
Have faith in our mate.
Your unit is retreating.
I always find it hilarious when ranged units just get killed like this. I mean, like, take a good spear to the face, yeah, you'll die, but simply just the horses running into you wouldn't kill you. You'd probably have a concussion, knocked on your ass at the very least. But trust me, these horses are not moving fast enough to kill you on impact. Although a horse doesn't really need to travel doesn't really need to pick up that much speed in order to have a blunt force trauma enough to kill you. Since most of the deaths are actually by trampling. So once you're knocked over, they just run their hooves all over you. Into your stomach, into your face. You'll probably crush your legs. A horse would literally weigh a ton. And imagine the horse and the person. I mean, like, the person himself would be like an extra 200 maybe. But nothing compared to how heavy a horse would be. Well, some of the heavier horses. It'll be more like half a ton for like the regular horses, I guess. Man, these rocks are annoying.
Flows freely.
The fact that Snowwalker can actually kill archers is hilarious. But then again, if archers just had if ranged units just had more health than fucking nothing, that would be great. Like, there are certain attacks that they can actually survive, but they are the minority. Like, I could probably count them on one hand, the number of attacks they could probably survive. More seasonal runes. Still haven't hit level 50. Gotta get that level 50 for everything. Stamina recovery for more. Coming soon.
Knives of the desert.
Ah. Also, I gotta figure out what to do. What to do when I got the camels. After I finish all of these, I'll go have a look at what I need to do to get camels.
Lead her way. March. Yes, Captain. Yes. Understood. Veterans never die.
Veterans never die. I proceed to get them killed. Sounds about right. Don't actually want to go there. Holy shit, hi.
Spears at the ready, we ride.
Für König und Vaterland.
It's gonna spawn on me in 2 seconds. Not fun.
Immediately.
Hi. Came along. Nope. Not really. Was running away.
Capture the point.
The blood flows freely.
Veterans never die.
One thing I never understood about the changes for Spear Sergeants. Why did they attach it to Cover Commander? They should just put it on their brace. When they block an attack, get 60% damage resistance and 45% damage. That would have been amazing on block. On block in brace formation. Make them stronger in brace. That would have been so much better than what they did to Cover Commander.
The blood flows freely.
Huh? How much health did that guy have? Literally survived a hit from me. That did like 2,700 damage.
A mighty blow to our foes.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Darkside. Darkside? Did I say Darkside? I meant Darktide. My favorite class? Definitely probably be the Ogren. I love the Ogren Skullbreaker. But I think that's probably because it's the most unique one. There's less overlap with weapons. Like, that's for the first thing. I end up using a lot of the unique... Just end up using the unique weapons for each of the classes. So, I mean, like... I'm using the Recon, Power Sword... Recon, Power Sword, and Shovel for the... what's his face? I haven't leveled up my Psycho very much, but I am using the Force Sword and the Rapier one. I love the Dueling Sword, actually. The Macabre Rapier, or whatever it's called. That's a very fun weapon. I love the different marks as well. The Flamer and the Thunderhammer, you can't really go wrong with that. I do use some of the Brace Autoguns, though. Brace Autoguns are very fun on the Preacher. I don't think I have a very good Eviscerator, though. I do think I need to get one. I love using the Chain Axe, though. But that thing gets stuck on one target too much, so I end up being very bad at Hordes. Which, very useful with the Flamer, because, like, when there's a Horde, I just flame everything down.
Behind you. March.
Yeah, no, I love the shield because, Demon Hosts in particular, you just hit them, find a corner, set up, and just let your team wail on it. You never die. Like, you don't have, like, that defensive stance is just so powerful.
Have faith in our mate.
Takes no damage. I mean, you get a lot of corruption from a Demon Host, but take one down is super easy as long as it's on your damn Ogren. And he has a shield. Never drop your defense. But when you don't have aggro, you're just like, how the fuck are my teammates gonna survive? Because I've seen that thing, like, two-shot. Like, your block, you can't block that. You can barely dodge that. You can dodge one attack, but you cannot dodge the following attacks, which is one of the biggest things. The follow-up is... Well, I mean, like, the Demon Host itself just attacks at such a rapid rate that you will never have a shot at recharging your thing. Holy cow, like, what is happening here? The Spear Sergeants are actually killing my things. Huh, very surprising. Very surprising. Might actually need to swap out.
Stand ready. Break weapons.
This unit skill is on cooldown.
Oh crap. Well, here we go. Oh Christ. I lost 2? Woo! That's gotta be brutal. Alright, I lost 2 more, so that's upsetting.
Get moving immediately. Understood.
He's staying. This guy is obviously staying around for the cataphracts that will spawn eventually. Normally it would take too long.
The unit is retreating.
Muharebeye hazırız. Spears at the ready. We ride.
Kind of love my Spahis, though I never really get a chance to use them very much since they're so garbage.
Efendim şu korkakları. Baş üstüne. Muharebeye hazırız. Muharebeye hazırız.
The blood flows freely.
Düşmanlarımızı
I would love some good old buffs to these guys. That would be great.
wipe them out. Düşmanlarımızı yok edelim. Muharebeye hazırız.
Ooh, I might die here. Although, it would be cool if they triggered it passively. Hold up. Hey, this is not what I signed up for.
Baş üstüne.
What about you, Wolf Deeds? Have you been playing a lot of Darktide?
Deploy quickly. No retreat. Track them down. Units assemble. Deploy quickly. Units assemble. Stand ready. Düşmanlarımızı yok edelim. Savaş muharebeye hazırız.
I'm not trying to get your archers killed. I was just bringing some for you to kill, but if you're just going to let your archers just die to it, then fine.
The blood flows
Sorry.
freely.
Düşmanlarımızı yok edelim. Units
Yeah, Zealot's pretty OP. I'd say OP. Can't really be like OP in a horde shooter game, I guess. Well, I guess you can be, but it just depends how you view fun.
geçin şunlara.
Ah, yeah. Saltfire's refusal to die. Not to mention you would just... The temporary health in that game was kind of super OP. At some points where you're like in a rat horde, you didn't even need to dodge because you would just kill a rat every time a rat would hit you. And you're just like, I get more health. I get more health, temporary health than you can damage. But I mean, like, if Storm Vermin comes up to you, you're gonna get two-shotted real fast. Yeah, sometimes I just got lazy in Vermintide and just took the hit. Although, when you do get into that dodge string, you do feel like you're OP. The thing is just like Darktide, you want to heal anyway. You never want to be on low health because that puts you more at risk than you think it does.
Knives
Um,
desert.
I think people, especially in Dark Tarhade, notice that Zealots in particular do not realize that they